Hey ladies, so I am going to be Snow White for a little girl's birthday party, and I thought why not just record everything that I do? Because sometimes princesses have blemishes too and they're not fun. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to put a primer all over my face so that my makeup will stay, and I'm going to be using cream-based products because that is going to give me the most drama but make it look believable, and we'll do a little extra little things in there that'll make it a little bit more cartoonish. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna put some primer on my face. Clips in my hair to kind of keep that back. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to use costume makeup, ebony. The foundation that I'm using is Ultra Beige. It's cream foundation, but then the highlighter I'm gonna use, it's just called Ultra Light. Okay, so all the places where I want things to stick out, I'm gonna be using this on that bone up there. Doesn't need to be perfect because we're just kind of putting it on there right now. All in these areas. And the nice thing about these ebony ones is that they're really, really creamy, so they're easy to blend in. Okay, so I'm just gonna put those on and buff those in. Okay, so quite a bit of highlight already. And then I'm just gonna use some of this to do the rest of me. That one was a touch lighter than I wanted, but you know, sometimes I always say that you can mix foundations together to make your perfect color. I'm gonna use my normal foundation with this Stage Makeup already on. So I use W3, I think it is. Yes, W3 from L'Oreal True Match. Just gonna deepen up the jawline a little bit more. And right on top of there. Now we're going to be doing more of a Candy Johnson Snow White. And since she did more of the retro Snow White, like the real one, they actually did, I remember going to Orlando, Florida and learning that they actually put real makeup on the different frames when they were painting Snow White. And so I was like, oh, that's perfect. I'm going to do that. So a little bit of powder. The lighter powder I'm going to use in those lighter areas. Okay, then we're going to do our eyes, and I'm just going to use a primer from MAC, the Painterly Paint Pot one. So go ahead and put the primer all over your eye. And then we will start with the eyeshadow. What we're going to be using is some whites, some browns, and some grays. So grab those out and get those ready. Any white that you have, grab it on out and put it right underneath the eyebrow. I might even use my finger. It deposits color so much better. And then on that inner corner right there, use some white. All right, with a floofier brush, I'm going to take the E25 from Sigma, and I'm going to use Wedge, which is just a nice cocoa brown. And I'm going to be going back and forth in windshield wiper motions just above my crease and into the crease, but not just solely concentrating on that, kind of going above. And this is going to marry, if you will, the two colors together as far as the white and the gray are concerned. Now we're going to take some gray. I'm going to use the one from my 88 palette. It has kind of a brownish gray one right here, which I really like. So I'm going to take that, tap it off a little bit, and I'm just going to kind of dot this in because it is more of an extreme color, but it's quite lovely. My phone is blowing up over here. Okay, and that is mostly it for the eyes. We don't do a ton. What I do want to do, however, is to curl my lashes and to put on a few coats of mascara. So I will go ahead and do that right now. Sorry, before I do my mascara, I want to do my eyeliner. I want to have more of a doughy-eyed doll look. She was mostly inspired from the 1920s girls, and so they had more of a flapper eye. So I'm going to take a small little craft store brush, and this is Black Track from MAC. Get in nice and close. And I'm gonna make it go way up here and then fill in right underneath. I'm just not going to go straight across with this look. I'm going to tightline just a little bit. Tightlining is when you take your brush or your pencil and you get right in between the lashes. And sometimes you can even do that when you don't want a real like heavy liner look, but you want your lashes to appear more full. Okay, that's it for the top liner. And for the bottom, I'm going to do white to create more of an open eye. Now I'll do my mascara on my false lashes. Snow White had a very round face, but very pronounced cheekbones as well. And the more modern you get, the more pronounced those cheekbones get because they always want to make her look thinner, sadly. So I'm going to use a little bit from my Coastal Scents palette here, the Contour Blush palette, and I'm going to use a little bit of the brown, but just a little bit. I'm going to smile. And I'm almost going to go right on my cheekbone here to create a little bit of a contour to make him go a little bit higher up. And pull back the hair and put it a little bit there. Just a little bit right in here to make it look like we have color. Pull it back. I'm not going to do it on the jawline, but I am going to take my blush from my Coastal Scents blush palette. And let's see, I think I'm going to use a combination of these two colors right here. So this one up in the corner and this one right down here. What is Snow White without those beautiful rosy cheeks? And of course that lip color. So we're just going to really, really dramatize those cheeks, especially on the apples once we get there. We've already contoured, and now that we're at the apple, we really, really, really want that to look fresh and beautiful. Oops, I just went into the wrong color. I'm not going to use that brush anymore because I don't want to dare get any coral on what I just have done. So just right on those cheeks. Perfect. Nice and rosy. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit on my eyebrows. Her eyebrows were very, very dark and black, so I've used a white pencil just a little tiny bit down here because I want more, like I said, every princess has an era. You know, we go from Snow White, who is more of the 20s, flapper, short hair, those rounded eyebrows, doll-like eyes. We did Cinderella, who was more of a 50s homemaker. Jasmine is a, 90s powerful, headstrong woman. We had Aurora, who's 70s, natural, barefoot, 60s, probably 70s, long, beautiful, just natural. And so what we want to do with her eyes is just make sure that they're rounded. And because mine are already pretty bold and I don't want to do a cover-up of mine, I'm just going to go over the ones that I already have and then blend them in. I don't want to scare the small children. Another thing about using a wax-based product on your eyes is you really want to blend that really well. So as soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to take a brush, nice stiff brush, and kind of go over that. Okay, so we've done our eyebrows with the black pencil. Now we need to go over that with a powder since it is a wax-based product. So I will grab that same angled brush that I was using. I'll wipe it off a little bit on my little towel here. And just make them beautiful. I messed up a little bit on this eye over here. And don't you just love when that happens, especially when using something like black. But what I did was I took some of the Mary Kay eye makeup remover and went just directly on that line, and then used the other side of the cotton swab or the Q-tip and went over that, the dry part, and just kind of fixed it a little bit. Now, Snow White had way thinner eyebrows than I have, but like I said, I am not going to, that's something in my eye. I'm not going to completely reconstruct my eyebrows for this. So just do that. All right, so now for those lips. She had very iconic red lips, and we are also going to do those. So grab any red lip liner that you have. This one is from Maybelline, and it is, wait for it, a 50 red. That's all that it says. We're going to do a very nice Cupid's bow. If you want, you can take a little bit of your highlight and go over your lips. Just so we know, and then powder it. That is not only for staying power, but that is also to make sure you have a nice crisp line when doing this. Oh, okay, here we go. Wish I had a pencil sharpener. I know I have it somewhere. Using a concealer brush that you've already been using for different spots on your face, you can rub it back and forth against areas that you feel are not living up to your expectations. And then I'm going to take Russian Red from MAC because it is a matte, which will make it stay a lot longer. It's right over here. It's right down there at the bottom. Russian Red from MAC. I'm going to be going over what I've already done. Perfect. And to give more of a cartoonish type feel, I'm going to take a dark brown, or no, not a dark brown. I'm just going to use a darker maroon red, and I'm going to line the lips on the outside to give a little bit of contouring. I'm going to warm this up. I haven't used this one in a long time. What is this one? This is Night Moth from MAC. Fill in those corners at the end. And that's basically it. And I'm just going to softly, with the lip brush that I've already been using, I'm going to wipe off quite a bit of that red and just blend that lip liner. Now I don't want to have lipstick on my teeth at the party, so I'll do that quite a few times. Wipe it off on my towel. And then what I'll do is I'll blot, double ply, then I'll undo the toilet paper, stick it on, and powder on top to make my lipstick stay the whole entire time. So that is your Snow White look. I hope that you liked it, and hopefully you will do this sometime and ask for some more princess tutorials, and I can do that for you. All right, bye-bye.